How's it going, everybody? Welcome to or back to FS2S. Now, the last video that I posted was chapter 4 of the 6.7 dually project, and if you haven't seen that video already, be sure to check it out. It is in that chapter where I put on the extreme offset wheels, and it's pretty wild. And now, ever since I installed the wheels and tires, when I'm driving the truck, everywhere I go, there's strangers and most of my friends, they're always asking me questions like, how the hell do you even drive something like that? It's already wide as a dually. I can't even imagine driving it now. Does it even fit in a lane? Holy shit. So, that gave me an idea. Today, I'm going to be showing you exactly what it's like to drive this truck. Or pretty much all trucks for that matter, with outrageous amounts of stance. Outrageous stance meaning that the tires are poking way outside of the fenders. And this truck that I'm building now is a perfect demonstration because not only are the tires sticking out way past the fenders, but it's sticking out past dually fenders. So when I'm talking about the stance on this truck, I'm not talking about the front end. Oh no, I'm definitely talking about the rear end of this truck. So when looking at the duals, you can see that about half the tire sticks out past the fenders, approximately 6 or 7 extra inches of width on each side. And then the truck itself, from tire to tire at its widest point, is about 110 inches wide. That'd be like 9.2 feet. See, the front of the truck barely even measures past 7 feet. So nobody cares about that. Seeing the truck in a driveway is a completely different perspective than seeing it out on the road. Now, to see how wide this truck truly is, we'd have to
take it to the streets.
So what does it actually mean to drive a truck that is 110 inches wide? Well, if you see here, I'd say this is probably the width of your typical road. And I want to say I have probably about a foot of clearance on either side of the truck. It is pretty easy, especially when I have a car passing by in the other lane, to have the whole right side of the tire just past the white line. I also know that there are some roads around the area that are much more narrow than that one. Just the other day, I already had a time where I was driving the truck and there was construction all on that road. So there was cones set up everywhere in this like little path. And that was a bit of a challenge. I was staring at my mirrors and there, the cones were swiping by, and there was probably about a couple inches of space between the tire and the cones. It was a challenge. It was kind of like driving on hard mode. And so you probably get the point of a typical road. Driving in like 5-lane traffic, big highways, that would probably be a bit of a pain. But whatever, it looks cool. So not only does this truck barely fit on the road, but I've actually have yet to find a parking spot that I even fit in at all. Not only is it difficult because it's a crew cab long bed, but I've turned it into a crew cab wide bed. As as you can see, on the driver's side, the tire is a little bit over the line. But then if we walk around to the passenger side, the tire is completely over the line. And then there's this guy. He can park like 2 of his cars in one space. But me, no. This right here is literally the best I can park in a regular sized parking spot. But whatever, it looks cool. So another thing, now that the tires are poking out, everywhere this truck goes, it gets completely filthy. Everything gets thrown onto the side of the truck. If you ever want to have a wide, stand-stout truck, prepare to never have a clean truck. At least for more than like a day. If I were to take this dually into a car wash, clean it all up real nice, it would get dirty the second I left, because the water from washing it, the tires would just fling that right back onto the side of the truck. So it literally gets dirty within seconds of washing it. So keeping it clean, that's for sure a challenge. So when driving this truck around, I definitely need to be more cautious of sharp turns and curbs and whatnot. That's pretty obvious. And sometimes when driving on a multi-lane road, it gets a little stressful if somebody's right next to me, especially if it's like a big truck or a semi or something like that. But honestly, at least for me, it's really not that bad. I mean, I feel like when I'm in the truck and I'm driving, I feel like it's much worse than what it really is. Like I probably have a lot more room than I think I do because it just feels so big when I'm in it. That usually ends up being the case, but that's just me. So the moral of the story is, if you want a truck that stays clean, is practical, has a nice turning radius, has a nice ride, then don't do anything to your truck, ever. Keep it stock. For me, I don't ever think about how impractical it might be or how much I'm ruining the truck. If I like it, I install it. Because at the end of the day, whatever, it looks cool.